Hello, hello, good evening, afternoon, morning, night, depending on when you're looking at this webinar. Welcome. You know, there are certain truths that we just cannot ignore. I want to start with two of them in the form of quotations from the late, great Jim Rohn, a powerful motivational speaker who we consider to be one of our mentors. One is, your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. And following that, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. For things to improve, you have to improve. When you grow, everything in your life grows with you. And growth, in fact, growing to the top as we strive to be the best versions of ourselves while we encourage others to do the same, is what we're about. So that's personal growth. And specific to this webinar, we'll be talking about financial growth. So now here we are to talk to you about a very special type of income system that you might find useful. We are excited about it and really hope that you get value from what we'll be talking about here. And be sure to stick with us till the end, as we also want to share with you the specific source for this kind of income that we are using. It may be something that resonates for you as well. Before we continue, we just want to share a little bit about who we are. My name is Hyacinth Vanderpool, and I'm here with my husband.
Hi, my name is John Vanderpool. You know, we've been married for 47 years. We have no children. And we used to be school teachers for more than 20 years ago. First in our birth country of Trinidad and Tobago, and then for a few more years here in New Jersey. And we still think of ourselves as teachers. Only now, we teach others like ourselves whose goal is to make tomorrow better than today. A significant part of that goal is the pursuit of freedom. So, is freedom important to you? As we get into this webinar, it will become clearer why we asked that question, and we'll take a look at what we mean by freedom in this context a little later on. So let's get into it. Let's start with looking at income generation. What comes to mind with those words? When we think of generating income, what we've become most used to is linear income, where we exchange hours for dollars. That's what we were taught and encouraged to strive for while we were growing up. Go to school, learn well, get good grades, and get a job. Work for 40 hours a week, get paid for 40 hours, work for 10 hours, get paid for 10 hours, and so on and so on. On this webinar, we'll be talking about a different kind of income. As promised, we'll be talking about an alternative called residual income. We'll talk about what that term means and some examples of residual income at work, how it benefits those who create it, and we'll also show you one option that we are working on to create it that you could do as well if you so choose.
Before we get to that though, let's get back to that question that we mentioned earlier. Is freedom important to you? In this webinar, we're talking primarily about financial freedom, yes. But even more importantly, it's about the quality of the freedom that can open up for your life when you are financially free in this special way that's possible only with residual income. Freedom to be, to do, to have in ways you couldn't before. So if total freedom is important to you, you would certainly enjoy the benefits of residual income. In fact, we have our own name for it. We like to refer to it fondly as freedom income. It's also commonly called by other names as well, depending on the income producing venture used to generate it. Other names are such as royalties, franchise fees, commissions, passive income, and recurring income, and so on. So what exactly is residual income? How about earning money while not actually working per se? You know, you're not on the clock. Now, don't get carried away. Hear me out. Money that is referred to as residual income is not by any means instant gratification money. That money comes to you after you've put in work, usually a lot of work as well as time and energy into a venture. Once the work is done, however, the common factor here and what's great about it is you continue to get paid for that work for a long time, even years after the work is done. So let's talk for a moment about some examples of this.
Collecting royalties. A singer introduces a song that becomes a hit. That's a one-time production. But whenever that song is played or it gets used in any way, even years afterward, that singer gets paid. Even after death, those royalties go to the singer's estate. The same thing goes for a writer. He or she writes a book that becomes a bestseller. That's a one-time thing. But whenever a copy is sold, that writer or the writer's estate gets paid.
And even working online offers ways to earn this kind of residual income. There are opportunities for writers of articles who can post on sites like Bookisa. Then you can create ebooks and publish through Amazon or sell as PDFs through an online marketplace such as ClickBank, and there are others as well. And there's no limit to the topics that you can write about.
Franchises. The owners of franchises collect residual income. A company decides to duplicate itself and offer a franchise opportunity. There are popular franchises in many industries. In fast food, there's McDonald's. In real estate, there's Exit Realty. In travel and hospitality, cleaning and maintenance, education, in senior care, and the list goes on and on. Feel free to do the research. There are some great sites I came across while doing the research and preparation for this webinar. Just Google top franchise opportunities and you can find info about what's available, startup costs, and so on. So in that scenario, there is an opportunity for someone who wants to become a business owner to duplicate an already successful model and then pay the parent company for being able to do that. That sale takes place once, then the parent company gets franchise fees for the life of the franchise.
And network marketing is another one. Robert Kiyosaki, author of the iconic book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, said, "The richest people in the world build networks. Everyone else is trained to look for work." So this is a business model used by many companies that brings the concept of building networks to life. So what happens is within a company such as this, as an independent entrepreneur working with a company, you get the option to build a network that helps with the distribution of that company's products or services. Income called commissions from the efforts of that network as long as your team remains involved. So you build a team once and you continue to get paid. Rental units. Another example is owning rental property. That purchase is a one-time transaction. Once it's rented out, though, the income starts coming in over and over for the life of the property. Investing in investment programs. Over time, investing in such programs can yield interest. That's passive income. At a certain level, arrangements may be made to pay out at specific intervals.
Social Security. That's one other example that I do want to mention because that may be the most recognizable one since it touches the lives of so many people. It's a little different from the others in that, depending on how we look at it, this is not about the completion of one transaction or venture as is the case with the others. In this case, it takes almost a lifetime of years. And if we have to lump it into one transaction, we'll call it your work years. So it takes place over the years that span your work life. For those years, you work and you contribute to the insurance program called Social Security. You know about that, right? Don't you? Well, Social Security is an excellent example of residual income. You do the work, it takes some years, but once it's done, you would have paid your dues. And at the end of that transaction, you get paid over and over until the end.
And I like that there's comfort in knowing that every month on the same day with absolute certainty, a specific sum of money will be deposited into your bank account. And that is one source of residual income that we can all look forward to, hopefully. A significant difference, though, between that and the other sources mentioned is that the amount received from Social Security is fixed. With some of the other options, you get to determine how much you want to receive. And that we will talk about in just a little while when we identify the benefits of creating residual income. So if you already receive Social Security and you want to you can add another source to your already existing income streams, because all of those examples that we shared before, you can use to create residual income. And you're free to set up as many multiple income streams. You're free to set up as many income streams as you wish, multiple income streams. And once the work is done, the resulting income keeps coming in, so you'll always be collecting. Understand, though, that the potential income from these options does vary considerably, as does the startup cost. Some of them yield a small income, others much, much more, even enough to make you financially independent as possible. But once it's residual, large or small, you know it's consistent. That's a key distinction with residual income. And that takes us on to how
residual income can benefit you. We talked about consistency. Once everything is established, you have the comfort and security of knowing that your money will be there even if you weren't around. Earlier on, as we talked about Social Security income payments being fixed, we mentioned having the option with residual income to determine how much you want to receive. That's possible because many residual income systems are scalable. So it's possible to increase your income by scaling up your efforts so you can work your way to the ceiling you set for yourself. This feature will be helpful too in keeping up with the increasing cost of living.
Who can remember the cost of a loaf of bread 5 years ago or a carton of milk? You'll see that these basic items cost more today. That's because of the increase in the cost of living, which of course, in addition to food, also includes expenses for things like housing, utilities, healthcare, transportation, and all that other stuff necessary for satisfying basic needs. So if you were receiving Social Security, for example, 5 years ago, you would realize by now that what you paid for milk and bread is much more today than it was back then. And if you look at your Social Security payment, you will find that it has not increased at the same rate. So the money you're receiving now is buying less today than it did 5 years ago. This hardship is not much different with regular income either. The pay scale index, a formula from the Seattle-based salary comparison site, reported that there was a 1.3% decline in real wages since the end of 2017. And that's after making adjustments for cost of living increases. There is a real fear that paychecks are not keeping up with the cost of living. If there's no supplement to your income, therefore no buffer, you'll find yourself being able to afford less and less as time goes by because the cost of living always rises. These costs vary depending on where you live, of course, but wherever we live, we know it typically keeps going up and up at a rate that surpasses any increase in our income, Social Security or otherwise. A residual income boost with its scalability factor could well be a viable option to provide a buffer as needed.
Paying off student loans. That's another one of the niggling burdens that many people bear. Creating a residual income stream to get rid of that pesky debt is a great option. In fact, in his blog entitled 4 Budgeting Tips to Become Rich in 2019, financial guru Robert Kiyosaki's number 3 tip is acquire assets to pay off liabilities. So why not create an asset in the form of a residual income stream to get rid of that debt? It's certainly an option.
And preparing for retirement. This is one that's dear to our hearts. Quality of life as we grow older will depend on our ability to generate residual income for many of the reasons stated before, and especially because, like many others, according to statistics, we are not adequately prepared financially for old age.
Statistics show that at age 65, 5% of people are deceased, with 5% being well off, 36% still working, and a whopping 54% dependent on family members for support. So for us, it's about creating a nest egg that will allow us to support ourselves should we live to a ripe old age. What about you?
Living a life of freedom. A significant benefit of having a kind of income that doesn't require your constant attention is the freedom to take care if you or a family member becomes ill or you have other unexpected situations that might normally mean having to lose pay, you can be free to go about taking care of situations as they come up and not have to worry that your income will stop coming in. Also, you're not limited by geography. Your income continues no matter where you are or where you go. You're not tied to any particular location. So a huge benefit to residual income lies in the freedom you get inside of that structure. That's because the system is such that eventually you continue to generate income on autopilot to a large extent. Of course, you'll need to do some occasional maintenance to ensure the upkeep of your valuable residual income source, but it's nothing like full-time work. So you now have the freedom to do other things with your life. You can indulge in other endeavors, volunteer activities, hobbies, social activities, philanthropy, and so on. You could even start a new business to generate more residual income if that's what you want. But seriously though, what would you do? How would you spend your days if you had free time? What would you do?
One very popular answer we get to that question is travel. Many people share that they would love to do more traveling on vacations, but they don't have the money. Others say they just don't have the time. Going on vacations is something we enjoy and look forward to doing for the rest of our lives as we build our residual income streams. What about you? Do you like the sound of luxury vacations at affordable prices? Do you know people who do? If you answered yes to either of these questions, stick with us for the next 6 minutes or so. We have something we'd like you to see. As promised, it's a sneak peek entitled, Do You Like Vacations? Introducing what we do.
Have you ever seen this little blue "You Should Be Here" sign? That sign is an invitation to a revolutionary idea many are calling the greatest travel concept ever created. In the next few minutes, we're going to share with you an entire world of travel you probably never knew existed. You're learning about a 14-year-old, award-winning, multi-billion-dollar travel giant that has been helping people save money on travel and for some, even earn vacations and travel for no money out of pocket.
So how does it all work? So with hundreds of thousands of members around the world, our company is able to bulk buy vacations and make them available to you through a member-only website and award-winning mobile app. As a member, you'll have access to thousands of one-of-a-kind luxury vacations at a fraction of the normal price. So we're talking about experiences like riding a camel in Dubai, walking on the Great Wall of China, African safaris, or amazing cruises. Visiting iconic destinations like Paris, France, Venice, Italy, Las Vegas, Australia, and virtually every bucket list destination you can imagine. For those that have a calling to make a difference in the lives of others, we have volunteerism trips where you can give back and contribute to those in need. We know that when you go on a dream trip, it's going to be one of the best, if not the best, vacation experiences of your life. We know that's a pretty bold claim, so we want you to hear from some of our members.
Here we are in Cancun. We're having a blast.
Never a dull moment. Just cannot beat the value.
Service like no other. Nothing compares to what this trip is. And when we go on vacation before, it always looked like people were having bigger fun. Now we're having the bigger fun. It is marvelous. I have a big jacuzzi tub, a big old bed, massages on the beach. A trip like this was very economical for a family of four.
The best beaches, beautiful, everyone just enjoying themselves.
An experience of a lifetime. We'll never forget this vacation.
I'll tell you, if you're not traveling with World Ventures, you're absolutely just doing it the wrong way.
Now, you're probably thinking this is going to cost a lot of money. Actually, it's not. See, unlike timeshares or other travel clubs, we've broken the mold and created 4 different levels to our platform to fit everyone's schedule and, more importantly, their budget. So our cost is not $30,000. It's not $10,000. It's not even $5,000. Our starting Dream Trips membership is only $100 to enroll and then $32 a month to maintain it. And members love the ability to book any of our VIP Dream Trip vacation experiences all over the world. Now, for someone who typically takes a few trips per year, including some weekend getaways or business trips, our Gold membership for only $257 a month gives additional access to an online shopping mall and travel portal for booking your individual travel needs. Now, our Dream Trips Platinum membership includes some peace of mind benefits like telemedicine and emergency evacuation services. This level is ideal for the type of person who loves special perks and experiences on their vacation. Platinum is only $300 and $100 a month. Now, for those who desire true luxury, elite service, ultimate convenience, and rare aspirational experiences, then Titanium is a must for you. Titanium members will have a dedicated personal concierge, access to private jets and yachts, staying in castles and chateaus, and even flying into outer space. And our Titanium membership is an incredible value at only $1,000 to enroll and $150 a month. Now, we want to make sure this part is crystal clear. Every single dollar you spend on your membership converts into travel points and credits, which can be used dollar for dollar to reduce the cost of one or more of your future dream trips. Now, we know that families and friends love traveling together, so our membership covers you plus any one adult and dependent kids under the age of 18. And if you have more than a few people you'd love to travel with, as our way of saying thank you for sharing the word about Dream Trips, when you refer 4 people that purchase a membership using your code, your monthly fees will be waived for as long as they maintain their membership. And we have members that have invited people to watch this video, and they refer 4 who join in their very first week or even on their first day.
We personally introduced over 20 of our friends that each become members, so we haven't paid a monthly fee for over 6 years. Thanks to this idea, we've been able to travel all over the world and create some of the most epic memories ever imagined. So as we wrap this up, let us ask you, if you could be on vacation anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? If you could bring anyone with you, who would it be? What would you do on that vacation? Why aren't you on that vacation right now? Maybe it's because you don't have enough time. Maybe it's because you don't have enough money, or at least that's what you think.
Well, now with Dream Trips, it's possible to enjoy the vacation of your dreams without having to pay a fortune to do so. So come on, do what hundreds of thousands of members have already done, and take the trip of a lifetime, to desire true luxury, elite service, ultimate convenience, and rare aspirations. Enjoy the vacation of your dreams without having to pay a fortune to do so. So come on, do what hundreds of thousands of members have already done, and take the trip of a lifetime several times per year. Take this video as a little sign, a hint, a friendly nudge. Your friend or family member wants you to go see the world. So right now, tell them you're ready to get started and become a member. And we look forward to meeting you on one of the many beautiful beaches of the world. And as always, you should be here.
If you manage a team, you should be using Monday.com.
Whoa.
It's a platform to manage any team and any project. Marketing campaigns, classic project management, sales pipelines, creative productions, anything. We'll start with a board. Here you can track everything your team is working on. Columns are completely customizable, so you can track what's important to you. Everything is visual. See who's in charge of what and easily prioritize.
Well, for more information to follow up on the video you just saw, feel free to go to www.growingtothetop.com/residual income or call us at 973-531-7616. Thank you for watching.